Let's look at shapes of graphs. This histogram shows the heights of a sample of 2,800 women. Recall that the mode is the most common value. This is an example of a unimodal distribution. There's just one peak, one mode. So again, the mode is the most common value here. Well, this is the mode over here. This histogram shows the weights of a large sample of adults. This is an example of a bimodal distribution. There are two peaks. Why do you think there are two peaks? Well, it's probably because women tend to be lighter than men. It's not like these are all the women and these are all the men, but I think women tend to be here and the guys tend to be here. I think that's the reason. This is an example of a uniform distribution. There are really not any peaks. It's a simulation of 1,000 rolls of a die. We've seen that distributions can be unimodal, bimodal, or uniform depending on how many peaks they have. We can also classify distributions in another way. This histogram shows the distribution of adult IQs. Okay, 100's in the middle here. This is an example of a symmetric distribution. The left half, okay, here we've got the left half, it's the mirror image of the right half. So it's a symmetric distribution. This next histogram shows the distribution of annual household incomes in the United States for 2010, when the census was taken. Okay, notice this is definitely not symmetric. Okay, it peaks over here, and then it keeps going, and then you've got the wealthy people here in the 250,000 to 250,000 category and above 200,000 category. This distribution is skewed right. The right half extends further than the left half, and it has a tail, as we can see, that extends to the right. So we say it's skewed right. This histogram, this next one, shows the distribution of the expected age at death in the United States if we start with a group of 100,000 people. Okay, so you start with 100,000 people. This is the expected age at death. Notice it peaks over here, and then the tail goes this way. This distribution is skewed left. The left half extends further than the right half. It has a tail that extends to the left. And this is because we'd expect people, in general, you expect a lot of people to die in their 80s, fewer in the 70s, fewer in the 60s, fewer in the 40s, although it does happen. We've seen that distributions can be unimodal, bimodal, or uniform, depending on how many peaks they have. We have also seen that distributions can be symmetric, skewed left, or skewed right.